Let's talk about Lori Vallow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she has an arraignment, official arraignment date coming up this Thursday. She will have her arraignment in Arizona on the two felony counts of conspiracy to commit murder. One, for the conspiracy to kill Charles Vallow, her ex husband, and the second felony charge of conspiracy to commit murder against Brandon Brudeau, the ex husband of her niece. So she will have the arraignment hearing, and then she will say guilty, not guilty, guilty by reason of insanity, whatever it may be. But then she'll be sent back to the jail to sit and wait. They have tentatively set the actual court date for her case for April 4th of 2024. Now, will this trial date actually stick? I don't know. And it's very interesting to see that they actually did set it for April 4th because of the following reasons. Chad Daybell's case in his trial is supposed to start on April 1st. Now, Lori refuses to waive her rights to a speedy trial. So witnesses who may be called in Idaho would additionally may be called in the state of Arizona for her and against her in either state. So how are those witnesses supposed to be there? And she has a right to a speedy trial. They must proceed with her trial within a certain period of time. So they cannot push it out much more than the 4th of April. They can move it out to as far as April 20th. But we know that Chad's trial is not going to be over with by then. And she will still be in custody. And those witnesses who may need to be there for Chad's or against Chad would also most likely have to be called in the state of Arizona. So there's the logistics of moving people back and forth between the two actual courts. And what's not to say, as soon as someone testifies in Idaho against Chad and they are on their way to Arizona to testify in the Lori Vallow case, that his attorneys won't pull something like, hey, we need that person back on the witness stand immediately. So they have to recall that person and send them back to Idaho. Or vice versa, Lori doing the same thing for Chad, trying to play the two systems in the two different court cases against each other. So, additionally, a lot of people have asked if Lori Vallow is actually found guilty in the state of Arizona, is there one state over the other that gets, the right or the precedence to actually, keep her as an inmate? Does it go to the state of Idaho because she's been found guilty of murder there? Or would it go to the state of Arizona where they have the conspiracy, charges, two felonies, of attempted murder on the murder of Charles Vallow and the attempted murder on Brandon Brudeau? Would they get precedence over her? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is neither one of the states do. And the likelihood is that she will never do a day of additional time beyond the period of time when they put her into the Department of Justice prison system, where they will look at her and give her an evaluation on a sliding scale, on a score of what she needs mentally, physically, emotionally, what kind of security she needs. All these things go into determining a score for her. Then they go into the system and they look at what prisons, because all of the states, excluding Hawaii and Alaska, so the lower 48 only, they would look at the total score and say, well, this place has the services that she needs. This prison has the security. They're a match. They then call the Department of Corrections there and speak to the person in charge and say, would you take Lori Vallow? And if they say no, then they go on to the next one, and then next one, and next one, until they find an actual prison system that would take her. The state of Idaho and the state of Arizona and all of the taxpayers in those two jurisdictions, two states, would foot the bill for her to be incarcerated in another state for the rest of her life. So, but even if she wins an appeal, you would have to help pay for that appeal. So that keep that in mind as you're spending your tax dollars wisely in each one of those states. Do you want Lori Vallow in your state and the publicity, media coverage, and the wackanuts who decide that they're going to become her super fans Are they, do you want them in your backyard? Or do you want to send her off to some place like in Texas or Oklahoma or Iowa or Maine or as far away as you can get her so she's out of sight and out of mind? Well, that's what's going to happen if she's found guilty. If she's found innocent in the state of Arizona, the same system applies. Idaho can decide to put her in the transit system as well and ship her off to another state. But again, Lori has an arraignment this coming Thursday. So I hope I've answered your questions and given you a little bit of information about what is going on with Lori and the charges and everything else. If you have an additional question, please put them down below in the comments section. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't enjoy it. It's all an interaction to YouTube, even if you don't like it. But it actually helps move it up just a little bit in the algorithm so other people can experience it. And you have a good day today.